Hello, it's Zen here, and today we're going to talk about none other than Cyberpunk 2077 with its massive 2.0 update alongside with the expansion Phantom Liberty. Today, I want to go over why I consider Cyberpunk 2077 as it stands right now an amazing game that should act as an example to all major AAA and indie companies. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button, but without further ado, let's get into it. I first want to talk about one of the aspects of Cyberpunk 2077 that truly fascinated me at release in 2020 and continues to do so in 2023, and that is the graphics alongside with the environment within Night City. While graphics don't make or break a game, it can still push it to new heights. The world of Night City is that of a futuristic dystopia comprised of corporations, mechanical implants, and an overall degradation of society. Cyberpunk tells us the idea that we are in this type of world, and when you travel from objective to objective, or simply when you're free roaming, you can feel it. It's in the advertisements, in the dilapidated buildings, and in the fine lines between the lower and upper class sections of the city. The buildings and advertisements look amazing as they fill the sky and gives that feeling of being in a concrete jungle. The cars themselves are highly detailed, including the interiors, which often is a setting for immersive dialogue within missions. Even the car sounds excel in sounding both futuristic but retaining some modern day growl. Night City may be the name, but at night, Night City changes radically. At night, Night City becomes a light show unlike any other. Lights from advertisements, highways or roads, signs, and even other vehicles which serve to create a futuristic setting that is to die for. Combine that with ray tracing and it becomes a wonder to behold. The Phantom Liberty expansion brings us Dogtown, and CD Projekt Red did not hold back at all, thankfully. Dogtown is the next to Pacifica and yet manages to uniquely hold its own identity and stand apart from the rest of the city. All of this, and we have yet to mention how seamless Night City is. There are almost no loading screens. Yes, you heard that correctly. Unlike other games that have loading screens for everything, Cyberpunk has loading screens for only certain things such as fast travel and the initial loading screen to start the game. But Cyberpunk wins even when in loading screens, as oftentimes what you'll be shown in a loading screen is a live loading screen or newscast of latest happenings based on your progress of the game.
The studio without any issues, no carjackings or drive-bys along the way?
No. Fortunately, the streets of Night City are getting safer every day. We've seen recorded homicides drop from 7,103 a year ago to just...
Hold on. The streets are safe, you say, but what about the highways?
I'm sorry?
You heard...
When riding in elevators or exiting buildings, there are no loading screens at all, and coming from playing Starfield, this gave me a massive sigh of relief. Before I get to the big 2.0 update, I also want to highlight free DLC that has been given by CD Projekt Red, which is contributing to their redemption arc. These are aspects of the game that perhaps should have been included in 2020 at release, but were not. Yet we can't take away the credit from CD Projekt Red, as many other companies would use this as an opportunity to monetize these very aspects. So for free, you get the following: transmog options and new clothing, including variations of V's iconic jacket, new weapons for both ballistic and melee types, added side missions, and new apartments. There are many others well within the game, but these are the primary ones that stand apart. Now, in the huge 2.0 update, which may vary from a 30GB to 50GB download, there are even greater features added. One of the changes that is of the complete overhaul of the police system. Previously, the police were practically non-existent, but now the police are everywhere and they will hunt you down if you commit crimes. The police increases in intensity and difficulty as you get more stars, similar to the GTA wanted level system. Their AI has been massively improved and police no longer randomly pop behind you or around you. Police officers are everywhere, patrolling the streets and on corners with barricades. But the greatest aspect of this overhaul is the final level at 5 stars, where the elite police force called Max TAC will spawn and obliterate you. Each Max TAC officer has their own health bar, boss health bar, and they can even use hacking abilities to track and kill you. One of the most notable changes from 2.0 is the revamp of the skill tree. Now, with the new skill tree, you can really focus on what type of build you may want to go for. The abilities that can be unlocked make much more sense in adding to combat rather than being enabler perks that allow you to do basic features such as crafting. I created a new character to replay the entire game with the 2.0 and Phantom Liberty update, and I have to admit that the game feels significantly better due to these changes. The new perk tree even allows for more comprehensive stealth builds as well as heavy tank builds. Another addition that 2.0 brought was vehicle combat and vehicles integrated with weapons. Now your V can now open doors or lower the windows and start blasting enemies while driving. Some vehicles that you can purchase will also have weapons and armors integrated as well. Overall, this is a positive change as it gives an opportunity to engage more enemies more often. And yet these are not even all the changes that 2.0 brings us. Among those changes include scalable loot and enemies, economy and changes of prices, new UI changes, vendor scales and have stock changes based on your level, new music and a new radio station, and crafting spec changes, among many others. CD Projekt Red also released a paid expansion called Phantom Liberty. In it, we gain access to a new section of Night City called Dogtown, where we have a massive amount of content. The content included is comprised of new quests from fixers, new main story quests that can give you new endings for the story, new vehicles, new weapons, new vendors which include black market vendors, the ability to meet in person a couple of the fixers who previously were only available to be seen through hollows, and a new perk tree branch for the relic. Phantom Liberty is a well thought out and comprehensive addition to Cyberpunk and is well worth the money. The main story of Phantom Liberty fits in with and builds upon the lore of Cyberpunk. Even after you conclude the main story of Phantom Liberty, fixers will continue to hit you up for more work with reference to the changes within Dogtown. CD Projekt Red are amazing storytellers, and it showed in the Witcher franchise and in Cyberpunk. The story of Cyberpunk is compelling to the player as we struggle to survive, literally, and at the same time grow into a Night City legend. The dialogue within the story and even on side quests is immersive and cinematic. Characters often pause and produce body language given the dialogue spoken, which further adds to the immersion of the game. The dialogue makes sense, and most, if not all, lines of dialogue serve a purpose in both story building and world building. Playing the game over has me itching for another CD Projekt Red game. Whether it's a Witcher game or a Cyberpunk game, I don't care. As most of us know, unreleased Cyberpunk was an enormous mess on consoles and a big mess on PC. Most of that has changed by now, as most of the bugs have been eliminated and performance and stability have increased significantly. The strides that CD Projekt Red have concocted to prove to us that what happened in 2020 was yet another example of corporate greed, which has little to do with the amazing work the developers at CD Projekt Red have done with Cyberpunk. Let's not forget that this is the same company that produced the Witcher games, and most notably the award-winning Witcher 3. I believe that CD Projekt Red has learned their lesson, and the next iteration of Cyberpunk and The Witcher will be great successes. In my opinion, a great game makes you forget you're playing a game, and Cyberpunk has been and continues to be a great game. I want to thank you for making it this far into the video, and if you like what you heard, it would really help the growth of this channel if you like, comment, and subscribe. With that, good night, YouTube.
Bagay vin chanje. Fason la vi nou, patap jam men bagay la.